praise, glory, and honor to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Yahweh is the true and ancient name of the Heavenly Father.
That's right.
Which Yah is He. Yahweh means exists, He is to be. So it's because the Heavenly Father always been here, man. You know, so that's why when Moses asked who was his name, what was his name, he basically said, I am. So he was just like, I am, you know, I am who I am, basically. But he told Moses to tell the nation of Israel that his name is Yahweh, you know, which it means he is to be, he exists, because he always been here. You know, no one created him. You know, then you have Yahweh Shai, which is the true name of who the word ignorant called Jesus Christ. In the ancient Hebrew, in the ancient language, the Paleo tongue, man, you know, because it did in Sirach, where on the prologue of Sirach, they say things spoke. Just read. I want you just read the whole prologue of Sirach, you know, because even with the English language, right, you know, the way they created this language, it's like a whole ritual. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole ritual, you know.
Spellbound.
Right, spellbound. That's why they call it spelling. You know, when you spelling words and you saying words, it's just casting spells. You know, everything you say, whether they good spells or bad spells. So, you know, and Esau Edom, the scriptures tell you he was most subtle than any beast of the field. So he real slick and cunning with everything he do, you know, from the building of this place, from the symbolism on the money, you know, all of it is an enchantment, you know, all of it is an enchantment, and it's power too, but it don't have the power over the power that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai endowed us with, you know, which that power start with us walking in His truth, walking in His word. Which it starts with us, which Yahweh Shai is the word. But first and foremost, it starts with us, like, accepting Yahweh Shai for who He is, you know, and for what He done, you know. Go ahead,
All right, this is Sirach 1:1 prologue, and I'm just gonna say, just in advance, I'm gonna read in here. I believe it says somewhere down in here, Jesus. And it's not talking about Yahweh Shai. Other people had the name of Yahweh Shai. That's why the Most High said, I'm gonna make your name great, that no man above all names. So when I read it, I'm gonna say Joshua, you know, because that was the name that it would be equated to in English as Joshua. All right, this is Sirach 1:1, the prologue of the wisdom of Joshua, the son of Sirach. Whereas many and great things have been delivered unto us by the law and the prophets.
Right, you know, because the law and the prophets came through our ancient ancestors. You know, starting with Adam, you had Seth, then you had Abel, then you had Seth, then you had that whole holy lineage that went all the way up into Noah. You know, and then it went through Shem into Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob after the flood. You know, go ahead, bro.
Whereas many and great things have been delivered unto us by the law and the prophets.
Right, because the law basically get it out. What is it, Sirach 17 or Sirach 19? So the performance of the law is in our wisdom is the performance of the law. Hold that real quick, you know, because because we see the world around us, right? There's nothing satisfying with this world, you know. Everything decays, everything get old. It's like even with us, in this captivity that we in captivity. If you weren't in captivity, you'd be able to do what you want to do, get up when you want to get up, not have to worry about anything, you know, like the elites do. So we in captivity, you know. But our warfare is right at the door being accomplished. We got immortality right at the door. And we have to walk, we have to understand it, you know. We can't get distracted by this physical world that's in front of us. That's what it's made to do. It's made to distract us, you know. That's why it's always good, like before you go to bed, you gotta reset your thoughts in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Cause everything you done went through the day is in there. And if you go to bed on that, when you wake up, you're gonna wake up right to that again. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta reset your mind. You gotta reset your thoughts, but your mind, you know, with positive thoughts, good thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Cause it's like, when you go to sleep, when you sleep, it's like if you don't reset your subconscious, it just open to everything right then, especially what you done went through, and it's gonna be there. That's why you'll have different type of crazy dreams, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like this. So, because at the end of the day, like, you fighting against yourself, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, yourself is the temptation. It might come in the form of another person, or you being tempted or something, but it's all on you on how you gonna handle it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Cause even with spiritual demon Satan, the Most High control him. So when something do happen, it's a temptation. You know, who controls it? You know, cause we just supposed to be growing and growing, getting better and better. And then the more, it's like the more, you know, the more and more you become under that sanctification process, it's gonna get tighter and tighter on you for the growth. You know what I'm saying? You know, but it's okay. You know, just get on. Go ahead though.
This is Rock chapter 19, starting at verse 18.
I think start at 15.
15, it says, admonish a friend, for many times it is a slander, and believe not every tale. For there is one that slippeth in his speech, but not from his heart. And who is he that have not offended with his tongue?
Right, so we all slip it with our tongue, but not from the heart, you know. We all can do that, you know. So, and you got to give other people grace and mercy also. Cause they can slip from the tongue, but not from the heart. Cause like, when you get in the heat of argument with somebody, it can be your wife. And it'll just come out, you know what I'm saying? But that don't mean it's from the heart. If it's heated or it's heated, you know, anything can come out. But if they really mean it, you know what I'm saying, you're going to see it in their action. You're going to see it in their action. So, you got it.
Admonish thy neighbor before thou threaten him.
See?
And not be angry. Give place to the law of the Most High.
Right, man. So, just let you have about shooting how a shot handling it, man. You know?
The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him, and wisdom obtaineth his love. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life.
Read that again, bro.
The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him.
See, the fear of the Lord is the first step of being accepted of him.
And wisdom obtaineth his love.
Right.
The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
So that's the doctrine of the knowledge of the Lord is the commandments of life, you know. And this is what he gave us. As the nation of Israel, he gave us the commandments of life. So we got to go back to the basics in order to be able to withstand what's happening right now. You know what I'm saying? What's finna go on. We got to go back to this. This is what we're going to have to stand on, his word. Nothing else. You know, we ain't going to be able to stand on nothing else. We got to stand on his word. That's why I say the righteous going to live by faith, not by sight. So what you see, ain't no telling what you're going to see. They got AI now. They got some stuff way colder than AI. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're going to walk by faith, though.
this is direct precept, Baruch chapter 4. It said, "O Israel, happy are we for the things that are pleasing to the Most High made known unto us." And then it just said, "They that do the things that please Him, that's what leads you into immortality." So it lets you know that only the Lord can please. Only Israel can please the Most High because the things that have been made pleasing unto Him is made known unto us. The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law and the knowledge of His omnipotency.
Right, so in all wisdom is performance of the law and the knowledge of His all-knowing. And that's why He gave us this word, you know. Because we are God's also. It said we're going to be like Him, you know. It tell you the house of David should be like God, you know what I'm saying? And the feeble among us should be like an angel as before, you know. So this is, we got to go, this is raising us up back to our original state, you know. Because you have to be the perfect judge. In order to be the perfect judge, you're going through all the ups and downs of your emotions, ups and downs of seeing stuff happen, you know what I'm saying? You might have judged it this way, but then a week later, you might have judged it right, but a week later you could have judged it another way that would have been more right, more wiser than the way you judged. And that's what this is all about, you know. This cycle don't never stop until we're in the kingdom, you know what I'm saying? You know, no matter what, the kingdom of heaven is within us, but we still in these bodies, you know. We still in these bodies.
I ain't know what he said at first.
But you hit him with the shalom, you feel me? You knocked it down with the shalom, you know what I'm saying? You know?
I ain't know what he had said
It's
until I
all
thought
good.
about it.
Yeah, these black shalom, you know what I'm saying? Just a lighter brown. You got it, huh?
Back on me, or?
Yep.
I'm going to read that part again. It says, whereas many and great things have been delivered unto us by the law.
Let's start it from the top again. And then hold it from move forward. Like you said, going right in with that story from the top again.
All right, back in Sirach 1:1, it says,
this is, matter of fact, before you get there, Baruch, get Psalms 83. Before he hold that, bro. This is what Psalms 83 is all about, man. They don't want us to know this. They don't want us to come back into our full power. Yes. What it say? Has those who is what it say? Who's worth more than like gold? We like earthen pictures now. You know what I'm saying? We walking around like one of the other nations, like the other nations now. They look like they're in a greater glory than we are.
This is Salaki, this is Psalms 83:1 in the AMP. Do not keep silent, O God. Do not hold your peace or be still, O God. For behold, your enemies are in tumult, and those who hate you have raised their heads in hatred of you.
Right.
They concoct crafty schemes against your people and conspire together against your hidden and precious ones. They have said, come and let us wipe them out as a nation.
Let us wipe them out as a nation. So this is all the other nations. This is the other nation. This is their plan, to wipe us out as a nation. Go ahead.
Let the name of Israel be remembered no more. For they have conspired together with one mind against you. They make a covenant. The tents of Edom and the Ishmaelites, of Moab and the Hagarites, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, Philistia and the inhabitants of Tyre. Assyria also has joined with them. They have helped the children of Lot, the Ammonites, and the Moabites, and have been an arm of strength to them.
Does it say that the name of Israel be no more remembered?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So this is what they whole confederacy is all about. That the name of Israel be no more remembered. Because once you start to speak on that name, it's like it's a whole vibration, it's a whole energy, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole a accountability that comes with that name, you know. And once we start to get back, you know, start to research all of that and get back into it, we start to realize how great we are, you know, and how much and how far that we fail, you know, from the time of the beginning until now. You got it, all right?
Because going back into the, like you said, going back into the name of Israel, it can teeter in each direction. But we know Esau got his hand in the awakening of the Israelites, because he controls certain groups. You know, with the certain leaders he paid off and made those agreements with those contracts with the 501c3 contracts with. So, but he don't know who is up, because he knows there's an elect. You know, he knows there's a number of Israelites that he can't control, and he don't know who's going to teeter in which direction. He don't know the number either, just like we don't know the number. We just know 1/3, you know, and we know 144,000, but we don't know who, and he don't know who. So, like you said, when you go back into the name of Israel, or when people, Jake start waking up, it can teeter in each direction. He ain't worried about that when Jake claimed Christianity, because he know we ain't finding Yahweh Shai through Christianity. You know, Muslim. We ain't finding Yahweh Shai through any of these other denominations that he controls. But when Jake start calling themselves an Israelite, they can teeter in each direction, in either direction.
It warms his blood that's being.
Right, it make them alert. And then even with the groups that he controls, it's still members that could be that's of the elect that's gonna come out of those other groups. So even with that, he still be cautious, because he controlled the leaders, and he put the leaders in charge to control the congregation. But the Lord is in control of it all. As the scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing, he that leaveth to a ditch, and he that followeth, you know, the Lord controls them both. So if it's any members of the elect, they gonna come out of there, and Esau know it. You know, Esau, he been listening to the videos. You know, he know the scriptures to a certain extent, but he also been listening to the prophets, and he know what we saying is true. And I'm talking about the elites and those who just in the know, you know, in that realm. So it can fall and teeter in either direction. That's why he gonna come after all the Israelites. He ain't worried about those that he controls. He gonna come after all Jake. That was it.
All right, back in Sirach 1, prologue of the wisdom of Joshua, the son of Sirach. Whereas many,
That ain't Joshua right there. That's just another.
Yahweh Shai translate.
Yeah, I know. That ain't Joshua.
Not that Joshua, but he
I
said
know
son of
it's in
Sirach.
there. Let's say you have a shadow.
Says the Alright, this is the prologue of the wisdom of Yahweh Shai, not the Messiah, the son of Sirach. Whereas many and great things have been delivered unto us by the law and the prophets, and by others that have followed their steps, for which things Israel ought to be commended for learning and wisdom, and whereof not only the reader must need become skillful themselves, but also they that desire to learn, to be able to profit them which are without.
Read, go ahead, y'all. Read that. It's like the brother said in the word, like Jesus, it can be translated, like it can be translated from Joshua to Jesus. But that was just to make it clear, like it wasn't a Joshua during the time of Caleb and Joshua under Moses. The only many Israelites that had that name. Started from the top.
All right, started back at the top. It said the prologue of the wisdom of Yahushua, the son of Sirach. Whereas many and great things have been delivered unto us by the law and by the prophets, and by others that have followed their steps, for the which things Israel ought to be commended for learning and wisdom.
Right, so this is what we need to be commended for, learning and wisdom. So really, when we were going to school, after we learned how to read and write and count and stuff, this really what we spoke. This is what our children should be learning, right?
Right.
If they was learning this, we'll be a nation. You know what I'm saying? Like the scripture said. Get it in the run before. Like verse 16.
Yeah, also too, this is something that should be taught at the dinner table, because Esau has destroyed the family dynamics. You know, and that was part of his whole plot. Because now, my mom and my dad and all of them learned from their parents and their grandparents, which taught some value to the way that they were reared up. So now, you don't have the father in the household, so the kids can't learn because there's no true teacher there for them to learn. Not saying the mom can't teach them, but if she doesn't have somebody to teach them, how can they get it?
Right. So, brother, what you saying is really our 12 years of education. I mean, speaking as the Bible, what you just said, 10.
What you say?
So really what you're saying, this our when they come up with 12 years of high school, this really our 12 years of education, knowing the in and out of the Bible, our arithmetic and everything. I know they hold,
Right.
math in there also.
Right.
Yeah. Right, because Esau Edom teaches us, he got a whole curriculum
Right.
Yeah.
in school, and it's all about teaching you this physical world. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the physical world. So that's what the elites are all about. You know what I'm saying? Because nothing, it's like the physical pleasure that comes in the body, that's what they all about. That's what they create for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what it's all about. Until then.
Right. But how they come up with 12 years of high school?
Well, 12 years of school, basically. They basically just schooling you on, you know what I'm saying? They basically just training you up into how they indoctrinate you. That's like, it's a form of indoctrination, which is it's from the age of 6 until you're 18. So like you said, it's like 12 years, 6 years old, all the way up until 17, 18.
Yeah.
So it's like a 12 years of
Program.
just indoctrination, programming. That's something we'll have to look up too and see what they, you know what I'm saying, that goes into that 12 years of
That's probably all the years of your development.
Yeah.
The years of your development. By that time, the scriptures say train up a child in the way he should go. So
Right.
once he get done getting weaned from his mother, it go right into Esau's hand to be indoctrinated for all the years that you would have been learning about the scriptures, learning about the Heavenly Father. You now focused on school.
Yeah.
Then he send you home with homework.
Oh.
So now you got school at home doing, and you so caught up with school. You wanna, because a child wanna have fun too. They wanna play. They need to play. They need to have some type of activity. So now your whole life or your whole mindset is in the world, and you're not having time to learn about the Bible, learn about the scriptures. And even children who grow up in churches, they gotta be around other peers who may not be experiencing that, and their lifestyle that they living, you know, they see their peers at school and stuff look fun. So that's what they're gonna be more interested in. You know, Esau basically taking the years that you would have been developing a proper sense of, you know, get a proper head start in life, and basically having everybody just indoctrinated.
And then the ones he can't control, you at the age you can go into the military, and you can go. If you're not going to be able to work in society, or even if you are working inside, he can put you in the military and control you even more. So you know now you become a battle axe for him.
And then I was thinking about this a couple of days ago, or maybe last week. You got it where Esau got it in the parents' mind, but once their child grow up to 18, they kicking them out, and that makes no sense. That's not even how we did it in our culture.
No.
You know, you got your child going through 12 years of indoctrination. They ain't got no type of start in life, and you talking about kicking your child out at 18 for them to fail, you know, or try to get it out the mud. But they don't have no life skills because Esau indoctrinated them for a whole 12 years. The 12 years that they would have been learning life, because the scriptures teach you how to live. Like the scriptures say, it teaches you how to live on earth. So that also includes how to survive on your own, how to be independent. Esau his school system doesn't teach you independence. It programs you on how to go and find a job, so you can depend on that job, and if you don't like that job, you can go find another job, but you're dependent on his system. If his system fails, people don't know how to survive.
Right.
So really, I guess you could say he training people on how to depend on his system.
Right.
I just think the education system for them to come up with the 12 years of education had come from the 12 tribes of Israel. Because that don't make no sense. Because you go back to the 1800s and maybe the early 1900s, they weren't going there for the 12 years of school. Probably you were topping out around probably about the 6th grade, maybe 8th or 9th grade. Because I don't see it. They just come up when the closer we got to the middle age, I would say about the 50s.
Yeah, I think the 60s and the 70s, you know, high school taught you learned to trade in high school.
Yeah, you learned to trade,
You know what I'm saying? And I think they took that out around the 60s or the 70s so that you could, you know what I'm saying, have to go through, they started the college process.
Yeah, right.
You in depth to, you know what I'm saying, making you a slave to the system. Because you look it up when they took, you learned to trade in high school. You know what I'm saying? Because before like you saying, you had to, like you got straight out of high school, you had to, you know what I'm saying, you had to trade.
It was in the 80s. They started in the 70s, like you said.
Yeah.
And it was the 80s because I had shop when I was going to school.
I definitely.
Yeah, I had shop too.
Yeah, shop and tool and die and stuff like that.
They said high school in the U.S. largely began phasing out traditional vocational education or shop classes during the 1980s and 90s.
Yeah.
Right.
With the significant acceleration of the trend occurring through the 2000s.
Right.
And then it said, while not completely eliminated everywhere, vocational programs were drastically scaled back or removed in many districts in favor of a college for all curriculum.
See, because they had a plan. Get you in depth to college. They stated that ain't gonna indoctrinate you for some more years.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And on top of this indoctrination, they getting you in depth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In debt, you know.
Yeah, it was all about that money.
Right, and they just making you a slave to the system. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the Lord finna destroy this place, man. So, but like you were saying, Esau calculation on everything. He most subtile the inner beasts of the field. So this whole system he set up, he's slick with it. And it's all wrote out. It's all wrote out in his money, and the way he built everything, the way he built his buildings. You know what I'm saying? For the enchantments on the dollar, it's all been working.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now we see it's time for his fall. It's time for the Israelites to receive their glory again. You know, but it starts with us getting back to the basics, learning who we are. You know what I'm saying? And when you learn who you are, you're going to learn on the structure the Lord gave us. And everything is built on these laws, statutes, and commandments that He gave us. You know, this is the real doctrine of life. Right. And they ain't want us to understand this. They ain't want us to know this. The doctrine of life they teaches us is everything you in school. You know, which all that stuff is like the math. That's good. You know what I'm saying? The geometry, all that stuff. But if we knew to take that in, what we did, and then even like the physics, learning how the body works and stuff. You know, see, kind of like when I was in school, I ain't take shop serious or none of that. Like we had shop in high school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think I had it from one of my electives, but wasn't nobody making shop no elective, cause you ain't had nobody pushing you like go learn that. You know what I'm saying?
But the fact that it was called an elective, you know.
Right. Yeah, it was an elective, like you said. Right. That means you can elect to do it. It's an elective.
You know, cause I raised in the household. My dad said, "Boy, might be liking on that end there, but you need to get your trade where you're able to take care of your family." Mm-hmm. And they were offering it with little time that me and you were going.
Right.
And you know, they didn't have it that little near, but they had just stopped. But when I got there, and I had to go over there to the CDC.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an elective. It's an optional course of study. Like you said, a life skill was considered optional in his system, but and like you were going into with the nation of Israel, it wasn't. I mean, you had the option of, you know, a lot of times you did a trade either that your father did, you know, and for a man, you did a trade that your father did, or you went off to work for somebody else, work for another Israelite, and you learned to trade like that. You know, that's how we network. That's something that we did. See, Esau got this watered down version with LinkedIn, you know, networking. That ain't real networking where you just, you know, teach people how to survive. That what it was all about. In order to build up the nation, you had to pass on the knowledge. But Esau, he ain't doing it for free.
No.
That's why the brother said, when you go to school and then you go to college, you first you got to get a scholarship if you want a full ride. Otherwise, you got to find scholarships or you're going to have to pay. And then once you get there, like the brother said, you get in debt. These teachers, these professors, they done went through what you went through, and they don't show no mercy. So you either go get a professor that's gonna load you with work, or you gonna have a professor that don't care. So, and both of them really kind of hurt you, because if you get loaded with work from multiple professors, you really can't handle that, you know. And you trying to balance your life out.
Stress you out.
Right, it stress you out. Or if you get one that don't care, you ain't learning nothing.
You party.
And then if you get one that loads you down, eventually you gonna get coerced to cheat, you know, on tests.
Yeah.
Because it's too much.
Yeah.
And they go from 12 years to 4 years. You trying to learn everything you need in 4 years. And if you want to go back again, you can go for an additional 2 years. You know, it's too much. That ain't how we were programmed to be.
That make it a lot different.
Right.
Because during the summertime, like you said, whatever your father was doing, you worked with your father during the summertime, doing his trade. You know, so like.
Talking about modern day.
Well, back in you know, but past our time.
Ancient, your Howard Shai with Joseph.
Year round.
With Joseph and your Howard Shai. You know what I'm saying? Carpenter, right.
You know, so.
And Peter, them fishing, you guys, bro.
Yeah, because if he and I was brothers, you know, and I did carpentry and he did bricklaying, and you didn't want to do bricklaying, you know, carpentry. You'd rather do bricklaying. You would work with him for the summer.
Well,
you know.
Yeah, year round.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you would go to school, whatever school system, but summertime you would work. I'm talking about in now modern day time.
Oh yeah, modern day.
You know, you would work with him for the summer, and then you'd be in school during school time.
But when you get off of work, if it's
Right.
still sunlight.
Because we were self-sufficient. You know, we still had a system, but everyone, you know, you had more entrepreneurship in the ancient. You had even women. You know, women was, you know, they'll probably be into making things, you know,
Clothes, sewing.
Clothes, sewing, what is it, pottery?
Pottery.
You know, different things like that. You know, women had things that they was able to do and make and create. You know, creativity wasn't just restricted to men. You know, it was with the women as well. So women had different things that they would learn from other women, you know, and bring it back. So you know, you just teach the next generation so that you can keep that trade. Because that's what, you know, I know I'm the youngest, but that's what it'll be my great grandparents and great great grandparents. That's what they did. They taught the next generation just to keep certain trades and certain skills alive and passed on.
Yeah,
Right.
so you able to take care of your family, support your family.
Right, a lot of it was family business.
Right, man. But now they, you know, they, it's okay. That's why the Lord got to destroy this place, man. Because guess what? Back on the eastern side of the world, it's still that structure like that. You know what I'm saying? In Africa, in India, in them different places. See, you know, China, like I said, they dick themselves more like America.
Yeah.
Like Babylon the Great, because they caught up in this world, you know what I'm saying, this world economic system,
Right.
trading with Esau, Edom. But when you get back to that eastern side of the world over there, you know what I'm saying, where them Arabs and the Hamites, and a lot of our people in them so-called African countries, man.
Right.
You know,
Man.
it's just straight living off nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, that's why the Lord gonna destroy this place, man. Because see, but you gotta understand who we dealing with. Like Esau, Edom, like he never comfortable in his spirit, so he have to live every day in survival mode. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't basically. He didn't put us in that same. He didn't put us in that same. He had us in that same mentality, which we not no more. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about understanding who we dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Esau, Edom, you know, in his spirit, he never feel comfortability. You know what I'm saying? Because who he is, so he didn't put up. He like the system he built. It's all what he know. You know what I'm saying? It's what he know. You know what I'm saying? It's like he never comfortable. You feel me? That's why I said he like his desires as death as hell. You know what I'm saying? He can never get enough because this the person we dealing with. No matter how much he get, the Lord ain't give him that comfortability. You know what I'm saying? That spirit of comfort. So
Satisfaction.
right. So this is the energy he basically got that he been pushing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that engine only lasts for so long. That engine finna be destroyed, man. You know, because like I said, Jake was a plain man. You know, Esau, a man of the field, he always got to be looking for something, you know what I'm saying, doing something,
Can't
man.
never satisfy.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Take the grass.
And he always go to the extreme. Cause I seen a post where it was a Edomite woman, a Shedemite. She was a hunter, a trophy hunter.
Yeah.
So she killed a giraffe, cut his heart out, and gave it to her husband for Valentine's Day.
Oh, man. No.
Yeah. And took a picture with the giraffe dead. You know how they get, you know, they gonna take a picture with they dead animal.
Big Judas should have came up behind him. Big old line should have came up behind him.
hell and death follow this man. So
Jake ain't gonna take no picture with what they killed. You just gonna see the meat. You know, you gonna see they got deer sausage. So, but Esau, he gonna take a whole picture with the dead animal. But that ain't nothing new, cause Esau he took pictures with dead bodies.
Yeah.
that's who he is. Hell and death follows him, man.
What I see, they still do. They said they had it in the files. They had pictures of folks laid up on the table. Yeah, they still do it. With a dead body.
Just piggyback this story from the top on.
Is the prologue of Sirach. The prologue of the wisdom of Joshua, the son of Sirach.
This is our rest right here. This is really what gives our mind that rest. You know what I'm saying? If you're an Israelite,
Right.
this is what comforts us. You know what I'm saying? Even when the Edomites get into it, and they read it, it'll try to halfway comfort it when they think they can make it. You know what I'm saying? They be trying to be cool and, you know what I'm saying, trying to be all
Yeah.
talking to you. You know what I'm saying? I see the Edomite woman in the gym. She was like, nah, you the Edomite. It ain't working, dog. Don't be coming around me trying to.
Yeah.
If she's a Jake, you have my sure have shall forgive, but nah, I'm steady working now. Like, okay.
She trying to talk to you about the word.
Nah, she just was singing it, just saying it. You know what I'm saying? Yo, go ahead, from the top again, but.
I wouldn't just eat them, but they'll probably start saying it back.
But we have to stand on this word, you know. we have to stand on this word, man. You know, 2/3 of our people not gonna do it. They caught up in the money. And then the other one thing else we have to understand, this world done, man. This world is done, okay? You got to know that. You got to want this world to be done. Look at our people as a whole. Who want this to keep going on? How many, if we feel like we're gonna rebuild these people, how many generations it's gonna take to get all our people on one accord? This shit got to go, all right? 2/3 of our people got to die. America got to be destroyed. Our wicked people got to go. We not looking to make no home here. All we doing is occupy. I ain't gonna say all, but we occupy until the Lord come. So we building the kingdom as He come, you know. But Esau coming, you know. Go ahead, bro.
Whereas many and great things.
Go ahead. Huh?
Nah, he good.
So
Yeah, I think I just heard somebody shooting just then.
anything happen, anything really going on, it's Esau's fault. You got to know that. This is his word. He created this. He can stop all of this if he wanted to. Don't ship no more bullets, no more guns, no more drugs. You gonna have to detox. You feel me? If ain't none of this accessible, and then this world it can get right. But you gotta understand who you're dealing with, all right? That's why this man got to be taken out. You know, ain't no compromising with him. That's why America gonna be made the example. Because he built this place up and say, this is my glorious kingdom, the United States of America. And then you got the EU and NATO, you know. Go ahead, bro.
Whereas many and great things have been delivered unto us by the law and the prophets,
Right.
and by others that have followed their steps, for the which things Israel ought to be commended for learning and wisdom,
Right.
and whereof not only the readers must needs become skillful themselves, but also they that desire to learn be able to profit them which are without,
Right.
both by speaking and writing. My grandfather Joshua, when he had much given himself to the reading of the law and the prophets and other books of our fathers, and had gotten therein good judgment, was drawn on also himself to write something pertaining to learning and wisdom, to the intent that those which are desirous to learn and are addicted to these things might profit much more in living according to the law.
See, because if you part of the elect, you become addicted to this. You know, you become addicted to the solution of all the things that plague Israel. But then you start to understand the Lord put them curses on us. You know? And then you start to understand Lamentations 2, when it said your prophets haven't sought out your iniquity to turn back your captivity. We sought out our iniquity now. So now we understand what's going to turn back our captivity. You know, acknowledging our offense, and then start to climb our way back up through the mercy and grace of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know, by having faith in Yahushua, and then start to keep these laws, start to make your body a living sacrifice. Start little by little, implement these laws, statutes, and commandments, you know, in your life, and build from there, you know. And as you build, you like I said, this is what the whole talk with the nation of Israel was about when they came around each other. You know what I'm saying? This is what the whole communion was about. Keeping each other on court. You know what I'm saying? Making sure we're doing what's pleasing to Yahweh. This is the way he gave us this for. You want to do it yourself. Go ahead, y'all. Let's go.
Wherefore, let me entreat you to read it with favor and intention, and to pardon us, wherein we may seem to come short of some words,
Right.
which we have labored to interpret.
So even during their time, because the Bible had got translated from the Hebrew to the Greeks, so the Greeks can understand, and so they can try to, you know what I'm saying? They wanted to know why we were steadfast and couldn't be moved. And once they figured out it was these words we were standing on, you know what I'm saying? The doctrine of life, You know, they wanted to learn it and know it, and then they can see how to work, see how to break us from, pull us from it. You know.
For the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them.
See, so they understood that. You know, when we got into the Greek, then we taking the meaning out, we taking the power out in the force, get into the Latin, you know what I'm saying? Get into the old English, into this English we in now, and it's so watered down. So where they got us in, they had us enchanted on every side, but we done broke through, you know, through the grace and the mercies of Yahweh Shem Shai, you know. You got it, bro.
And not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language. For in the 8th and 30th year coming into Egypt, when your gates. Top left.
Irrigates.
Your geese.
When Euergetes was king, and continuing there some time, I found a book of no small learning. Therefore, I thought it most necessary for me to bestow some diligence and travail to interpret it.
Because even now, like, even when you had them gutter rats went into our land claiming to be us, you know, they was steady finding ancient scrolls, you know what I'm saying, in caves, the Qumran cave, what is the Qumran cave? I'm pronouncing it wrong. But it was like a lot of them scrolls came from the ancient cities, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, bro. Because we was always hiding books of the law and different scrolls and scriptures, because they was burning them, you know what I'm saying? They was trying to destroy all the scriptures, and basically so that we'll forget the law, so that we'll forget our power. That's why even today you got all these different translations, you know, to try to throw us off from our scriptures. You got it.
Using great watchfulness and skill in that space to bring the book to an end, and set it forth for them also, which in a strange country are willing to learn, being prepared before in manners to live after the law.
Right, man. You know, so we still, like, we know important, we prophesy important. So it's still, you know, we got the 100% truth of what we got, but it's still a lot we don't know, you know. We got it. Let's see that.
And one more sentence. All wisdom coming from Yahweh Shem Shai and is with him forever.
Cool.
Going back into what we were talking about, this was rest. This is Matthew 11, starting at 28 in the AMP. Come to me, all who are weary and heavy burdened by religious rituals that provide no peace.
Right.
And I will give you rest, refreshing your souls with salvation. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. Follow me as my disciple, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest, renewal, blessed, quiet for your souls.
And that's what it's all about. Because this world is to just keep you going and going. You gotta worry about the bills. You gotta worry about you know what I'm saying, all this stuff we can accumulate. But at the end of the day, all this stuff ain't shit. It's just gonna be real. It's to keep us doing what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Keep us having to work. You need a car, you need a house, you need a place to stay. You need shelter, food, clothing, and shelter, and transportation to get around. Right. After that, everything, you know what I'm saying? What we striving for? And even with that little stuff we got, we had to go and do what we had to do to pay for this stuff. we don't really be, we don't, like we spend more time doing that than we have with our families, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then we have with the community with each other, you know? This ain't right, this ain't how life's supposed to be. But this under this man's system, because it's still a way the system can be set up to where you got more time with your family, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, but this BS, that's why this place got to be destroyed. A man don't supposed to be away from his family like that, you know what I'm saying? All that time, you know?
And on top of that too, like you said, it ain't supposed to be like that. If, you know, you be away from your family, you know, you have to go and work all these crazy hours of the day trying to make ends meet. On top of that, us being in this truth, we have to make even further sacrifices to do the work of Yahweh by Shem Shah. You know, because all of this is a sacrifice. But you know, if we was to do this without knowing what was, you know, the outcome, we would give up. You know, we would lose hope, because we'd be like, what is it all for? That's why Yahweh Shah gave us the outcome of everything. That's part of why the Lord told us what's gonna happen. Because it's a lot of things the Lord hasn't told us, hasn't revealed unto us yet. You know, but He told us the outcome of what was gonna happen. So that's a part of what's giving us peace. And I'm gonna read it again. It says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me." Because what was Yahweh Shah's? What's a part of Yahweh Shah's yoke? Like what was a part of what he had to go through? He had to do the same thing. We just talked about how he was a carpenter. You know, he had a reputation in this world of, you know, being a son of Joseph and Mary. People knew about him, you know, because when he was born, people were saying that he was the savior. You know, he was gonna be the savior of the nation of Israel, but he hadn't revealed himself yet. You know, done anything spectacular where people was gonna see it. So people knew about him, but then he had to give it up. You know, he had to go do the work of the Heavenly Father, had to get his disciples, he had to suffer, you know. And you best believe Yahweh Shah was seeing how these Edomites was handling our people too, and he couldn't do nothing about it at that time, but teach the word, you know. And then he knew what was to come too. He knew the outcome of what it all, you know, what was all gonna happen in the end. He had to be patient. So he understand why he said, look, take my yoke. You know, I know what you're going through. Learn from me, follow me as my disciple. But if you do it all, Yahweh Shah, like it's gonna say, it said, for I am gentle and humble in heart. So Yahweh Shah, despite everything he had to go through and everything he was dealing with, he could have destroyed the whole earth by himself, you know? Or he could have sent one angel to do it. But he said he was gentle and humble in heart, which also, you know, going to how patient he was. It says that you will find rest, renewal, blessed, quiet for your souls. So he said, look, just like you said, occupy until you come, maintain, you know, how things are until things change, you know, until you come back. He said, you will find rest for your souls. It's going to keep you stable. A lot of people bugging out. I know I seen a brother upload various videos of people in America just bugging out. You know, it was a woman in the middle of the traffic just screaming. And then somebody recording it. The person that recorded it got back in the car, so she started running at them, jumped on their car, and broke their windshield. Then she ran back to the car she was in. They drove off. People losing their mind. I don't know if she was an Edomite or not. She might have been Northern Kingdom. Verse 30, it says, for my yoke is easy to bear and my burden is light. So Yahweh Shah considered what we go through in this world easy and light, even though it don't feel that way. But the scriptures is what comforted to make it seem as though it's easy and light. It's not really as bad as it could be if we didn't have it.
I just thought about it, because like you say, what we going through now, it's really light, and we ain't really been going through it that long in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Shah. You know, you say like 1,000 years to us ain't nothing but a day to them. And I was thinking about it because the brother Ayah, you know, when he uploaded videos, he had different videos playing at the beginning. And one of the scriptures that it brought out, it had said, a child should not die at 100 years old. I was like, shit, you 100 years old to us, and I said, you old man, you ready to go. You been ready to go. I said, it's like a child. You still like a newborn still.
You just getting started.
Time don't even exist, so immortality, see.
Right.
That's why I say 1,000 years, that one day is 1,000 years when you have by Shimon Shah. That's how it's gonna be with us for us. We the rod of his inheritance. So that's what's in us. We, you know, we heirs to this. And this is what we got, this is what we are barking up on right now. We got to understand it, you know. This is what we barking up on. So time really don't even exist. In this dimension it do. In this world where this is Esau's world. So yeah, he make time exist because he control time. Right. He tell you what time to be there, what time is this, daylight saving, this, you know what I'm saying?
Time controls us.
Yeah, this is time. But you gotta start telling yourself like whatever you speak and however you think, that's how it's gonna be. You gotta tell yourself you control time. Time don't control you. You gotta speak that right now. In this dimension. That's what's gonna make it light. That's what's gonna make it easy. You feel me? Cause we still be having to get up, get some rest, deal with this body. Like Joshua. Remember Joshua prayed at the, you know what I'm saying? But the brother Nabar in Memphis had told me this. Like he be like, we be having long nights, we be out. I had to get up and go to work the next day. He said, I just asked the Lord to slow the time down. You know what I'm saying? I thought about what Joshua done that. You feel me? Right. He hold the sun back so they can finish the war. This the power we got though. This is who we are. Esau just got us thinking we them. You know what I'm saying? We on this low level. We really got to act like who we are right now. The kingdom of heaven is within us. We really these people. We got to walk like, we got to speak like that. We got to move like this. For real. This how we got to move right now.
What Shannon say, you count time, I make time count. He said that on one of them videos. He said, you count time, I make time count.
Who that?
Yeah, Shannon.
Shannon Sharp?
Yeah. On one of his shows, one of the interviews he did. Then he was talking to Ocho.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you say, everybody be pressed for time now. He's off control. Everybody be in a rush, everybody running late. You get up in the morning, you over here, you probably already got your stuff together. I can get up an hour and a half, 2 hours early. I still feel like I'm running behind.
In some cases, you do.
Yeah.
We got responsibility, you feel me? We you know, this cat, but this is we going through all this to lead to our captivity. Cause really, time don't, you know what I'm saying? I mean, to lead to our immortality. You know what I'm saying? We're going through all this to lead to our immortality. So really, as an Israelite, time really don't exist to us. But this is what they want us to believe. This is what they got us to believe. Like it's this and nothing else. You do this, you retire, then you die. No, we got immortality. That's for them. They got us on their time. You know how Jake said, I ain't even on that time. You know what I'm saying? You know, we on Yahweh Shimon Shah time, and all right? Immortality.
He even got a time for doomsday. He got a whole doomsday clock.
Right. We be getting feared for about it, but it's his doomsday. Right. He watching the time. He know he got his time is short. Right. Even with his doomsday clock, he show you his time short. You know what I'm saying? Move a little closer to the 12. You know what I'm saying? Your time's short. We know. Time don't exist in our world no more.
Really, that's his death sentence clock. You know, like an inmate on death row. You know, and the day comes that he's got to die. He's watching the clock. You know, for that time, government say it's gonna be at 4 o'clock. You know, and it's right there at 3:50. You know, almost 4. So that's his doomsday clock.
And that really just the clock to start the trial for real. They doomsday when they get wiped out. That's when they doomsday clock really start. But the clock they got now, this is the clock for captivity.
They'll be on Yahweh Shimon Shah, even though it'll be 1,000 years, but they'll be on Yahweh Shimon Shah time for that 1,000-year slavery.
Gonna stretch out the time for them.
It ain't gonna be nothing like it.
How long we been doing it? We've been doing it for about 500 years, ain't it? No, this is second year, big dog.
They're gonna be asking what year it is. We just gonna be saying what time it is.
It's like, yes.
It's Isaiah 40:1. Comfort ye my people, saith the Most High. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her, that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned.
See, our people warfare is accomplished. Our iniquity is a pardon. It's been pardoned, but we still had to go through the process of being punished for it.
Right.
You know, go ahead. But now our warfare is been accomplished, but we still had to go through all this. You know what I'm saying? And now we at the end of the punishment. You know, that's why it's getting harder. That's why it's getting tighter. That's why it's trying to make you tap. Go ahead, bro.
For she have received of the Lord's hand double for all her sins.
See, we receive double because we his people, you know. And we gonna receive immortality. Go ahead, bro.
The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness,
Right.
prepare ye the way of the Lord.
Yeah, and that's that same voice, you know, we coming in that same spirit of Elijah. You know, John the Baptist, prepare ye the way of the Lord. But we at hand of the kingdom of heaven being established on earth. Go ahead, bro.
Stop.
Go ahead.
Make straight in the
See that wild boy. See how you
Did he do like this? Was he doing that over there? I thought he was doing that. Then he put a little pep in his walk when he passed by.
He already had it before he got over there. The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness,
Right.
prepare ye the way of the Lord.
Prepare ye the way of the Lord. Right.
Make straight in the desert a highway for our God.
That's right. Go ahead.
Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low.
So all these governments being made low right now, you know, because it's the kingdom of heaven is at hand, right? All these governments is being made low. And America is gonna be made a lake of fire. You got it, bro. It's gonna be turned into a desert. Go ahead.
And the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain.
Right.
And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken.
Get that in Baruch where it said we've been through rough places, Baruch 4. It's probably it's on there. It's on it. So the delicate ones have been through rough places. You ready to say something? Been a long time coming. But we gotta start walking, we gotta start moving like the kingdom of heaven is at hand. You know what I'm saying? Especially the ones who know we know what we know, right? It's time for us to power up, for real. It's time for us to walk like this, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we got that power, cause we got the power. We got the power, cause every time I have a dream, right? And it be showing me like in this dimension, like I had one last night, right? How you got Esau got his weapon, his word, his sword, his gun, you can shoot. Every time in my dream, and it be a threat or something, they might have I have a gun, it don't never shoot. I can't never shoot no gun.
I've had those dreams.
But I finally got it last night. I put my gun down. I ain't need that. I just started my power. I just started moving stuff. I finally got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. And I woke up. Hey, look, my woman, she was right there. She was like, "What you like? What wrong? You just said, woo!" I ain't even tell her right then. I woke up, but I was in my dream. But it was in other whatever dimension you go to. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
You move your hand with your dream.
yeah, I'm talking about. I ain't that gun wouldn't never, cause every time that gun never worked.
Never would.
And I ain't never figured it out.
the strip before he went to the.
I said, man, this for them. Yeah, this for
Right.
To the strip.
A dude walk around with a gun. He look, I come out somewhere. I'm like, I started trying to shoot it. It wasn't shooting. And I'm like, dang, it always happen like this. I thought about it. I'm like, I don't need
It's
this.
like one of those dreams when you can't never run.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need this. And I just started, okay, yeah. I was like, man, I had woke up out of that thing. Like, okay. Yeah. But that's how we got it. That's the power we got. For real. Esau wanting us to scoop down in his. Now, you might got a gun in the house, protection. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, the power and the faith we got, we can look. Look, we don't need nothing. We don't need nothing Esau made. We don't need it. You know what I'm saying? We don't need it. You know, we gotta know what. We gotta know we the power. You know what I'm saying? We
get that power through the.
yes, we is the prince of the power. You know what I'm saying? We access that same power he got. We just gotta tap into it. We gotta know it. We gotta. You know what I'm saying?
He gonna bestow it upon us in the proper time when we need it. You know, he gonna give it to us when we need it.
Cause every dream I ever had, I never been able to use this physical weapon.
That's probably so you never been able to.
No, never. And I be wondering
been like
why.
that.
Huh?
I've been like that.
Yeah.
I can never use it in my dream.
Right, you can't, it's like it don't even work. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, okay, hey.
But people beside me in the dream could use theirs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah,
Yeah.
other people, yeah, but you know,
You want that precept done?
and yeah.
All right, this is Baruch chapter 4, verse 26. My delicate ones have gone rough ways.
Start at verse 22.
20 who?
22.
Baruch chapter 4, verse 22. It said, for my hope in the everlasting that he will save you, and joy is come upon me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting our Savior.
Right.
For I sent you out with mourning and weeping.
See, we've been mourning and weeping the whole time. You know, go ahead since we've been taken from our land, since we've been ran from up out of our land. Go ahead.
But Yahweh Shem Yahushua will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever.
Right, we going back home. Go ahead. With
Like
the
it.
whole earth. Look, this world was made for our sakes. We're going back to we're going back to, because you got to remember something. When the Lord gave us that land, he said all the people were going to envy us for the land he gave us. You know what I'm saying? We know where the land got all the animals, all the resources. You know what I'm saying? All this, you know. America got some stuff, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, nature ain't running rampant over here. It's on that side of the world, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's okay. Go ahead, bro.
Like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity,
Right.
so shall they see shortly your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting.
So all these other nations, they still look. They really can't believe how we still thriving, and you know what I'm saying? They like, man, they the people. You know what I'm saying? They just shake their head. No matter what they do, no matter what they do, no matter what they have done. You know what I'm saying? We still right here. You know? And not only that, now that Lord put that spirit in the elect, and we powered up for real now. You know what I'm saying? We back keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. We feeding our people, you know what I'm saying, with knowledge and wisdom and understanding.
That's right.
You know, building them up, nourishing them up.
Or will we be at that number?
Come.
That's right.
Verse 25, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Right, so you suffer patiently. That's key right there. You know what I'm saying? We got to go through this whole process, you know, patience. You know, go ahead. We got it, but in order for you to do this, you got to understand the outcome, because if it wasn't a glorious outcome after this, then I can understand you bucking up. You know what I'm saying? You taking matters in your own hand. But that's why, you know what I'm saying? Wisdom and knowledge and wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of our times and the strength of our salvation. See, we know what's going on there. You know, that knowledge, wisdom, understanding we got, it keeps us stable. You know, go ahead.
Yeah, this verse right here is a direct precept to Revelations 3 and 10. Is it 3 and 10, 3 and 9? They said, or 2 and 9, where it says, I know that thy works, I know that poor.
That tribulation.
Tribulation, I would say, be in the hour of temptation. I know thy patience, yeah. Verse 25 says, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, for thy enemy have persecuted thee.
Thy enemies
Thy enemy have persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck.
Right, man. So we finna see Esau's Edom destruction. We gonna tread upon his neck. Go ahead.
My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught of enemies.
Right, so we done been through a lot. You know, we done been gone rough ways, just like, go ahead, he gonna make it, go ahead, bro.
It said, be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah.
Go, man.
It said, be of comfort.
This is what captivity do to you.
What did he say?
Jake see us out here, he think this how we do. You know what I'm saying? He think we ain't got no life, you know what I'm saying? You know, but we doing this, you'll think us in the end, Jake. Hey, the hoes will stay where they at, man. We gonna have unlimited wives, you feel me? But see, that's another thing. They made that cool in our culture. Yeah. Coming up talking about where the hoes at. You go somewhere, ain't no hoes in here, you know what I'm saying? And then we wonder why all our women, the words we use, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Then they wonder why they have so many problems out of women.
Right.
Then you go find some more and create the same problem that you just created with another one.
Jay, we used to say that though.
They still do say it.
That's always correct. Jay, why see right there like that, man? We on a whole nother level, man. Jay, you expect the unexpected from Jake, man. Cause it's just like we read, it'd be rough places. You feel me? We've been through it all, man. Jake just trying to ease the captivity, you know.
Jake love women, man.
Right. For real, Jake see us don't think, man, them guys ain't doing nothing, man. That's all they do right there.
Yeah, they look down on the prophet. That's how Jake always did, look down on the prophet.
Jake, wow. We used to take out, going out. They like, y'all out there teaching.
Right.
Oh,
like I said, Jake looked down on the prophets. See, while we just got done talking about spiritual power. And women, see, we understand the secret. You know, we understand women. We don't need to read no, external book in the scriptures clearly tell us women are hypergamous. You know, women are attracted to power. Like the brother was just going into about his dream about power. That when the women see what a real power is, they gonna run to the power. They ain't gonna run to no man with no gun. You know, no man that Jake ain't ever been trained how to shoot no gun for the most part. Jake probably got experience shooting guns. Jake ain't never been properly trained. You know, but with the spiritual power, we ain't gotta be trained. The Lord gonna give us the understanding on how to use it and give us the creativity to use it in any various way that we can think of. We ain't gonna have to, you know, ain't gonna be no more where the holes at. We gonna, the elders already said, the elder, brother always use it, I forgot his YouTube name, but he always make the visual. He always use that sound bite with, or the clip with Elder Gabar going in how we are, like you just said, we already got the power. The Lord is gonna turn it up at the proper time. And it said you gonna be trying to beat women off you. You know, the women gonna be chasing the men of the Lord. Because the Lord is gonna give that fame and that praise and that fame into his people, into the chosen, starting with the elect. So he ain't gonna, we ain't on that low, that level no more. That's a low level to be on. You know, we understand, Jake. You know, we already know. We got friends that be like that. But at the same time, we ain't on that low level no more. We looking for something that's far beyond our wildest imagination.
I be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto Yahweh Shemawashah. For ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. Right. For as it was your mind to go astray from Yahweh Shemawashah, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. Right, hold it right there.
Back at Isaiah chapter 40, verse 5. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together.
Go back to that
Verse 4. Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain.
Right.
And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken.
Right, man. All flesh gonna see our salvation. You know what I'm saying? You know, they gonna be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation, which they see it. They see it now with the knowledge of salvation we have. You know what I'm saying? Because wisdom and knowledge is the stability of our times and the strength of our salvation. So it starts now, but when they really see it manifested in a physical form, the Lord start giving you, when you know, when that power is manifested in us, because he already gave us the power, it's just going to be manifested in us. You know what I'm saying? When it's time, you know, in due time, which is manifested in us now, but it's going to be manifested on a whole nother level. Go ahead, bro.
The voice said, cry. The voice said, cry, and he said, where shall I cry? All flesh is grass, and all the goodliness thereof is as the flower of the field.
Right.
The grass withered, the flower faded, because the Spirit of the Lord bloweth upon it. Surely the people is grass.
Right, see, so this is how the Lord look at the other nations, man. They nothing. Go ahead.
The grass withered, the flower faded, but the word of our God shall stand forever.
That's right, you know, and this is what we standing upon. The words of Yahweh Bashir Mahawashah. This is the doctrine of life, and this is what they took from us. This is how they was able to, this is how they been able to deal with us. This is how they been able to stand in the ring with us. You know what I'm saying? They took the word from us. They took our power. You know, they took the train. This is the training. You know what I'm saying? This is the doctrine. And they took it from us. So this is how they was able to get us in the condition we in now. This is how they even able to be walking around us and look proud and act like they on the same level, like they on the higher level than us.
Right.
They took our power, they took our strength, which is this word.
The Lord doing the same thing to them. The curses coming, the curses are now being transferred. The curses are now being transferred to them.
Oh, see, that they got right there, you know what I'm saying? We're mad playing, and then the Lord got something they spirit.
I didn't hear what he said when he drove off. He said something else. No, he said something else after that.
Go ahead.
Jake still ain't in the right spirit.
I ain't tripping, you know. Cause whatever the Lord got for everybody, it's coming. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna stay in this spirit we supposed to stay in. You know what I'm saying? Happy are we. Right. So, go ahead,
I forgot what I was going to say.
Cause like you said, it's time for the prophets to receive their reward. You know what I'm saying? You know. Give the times we in though. You know what I'm saying? So, look, hey.
it is what it is, you know. Go ahead, huh?
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because you just reminded me too about how Snoop Dogg, y'all heard about him?
Right.
You know, it went viral that his credit card had declined. Everybody just laughing at him because he was trying to buy some food at a mom and pop shop and his credit card declined.
No.
But that's the thing about this world. You rise up in Esau Edom kingdom. All it takes is one thing embarrassing to happen and you go viral. You know, everybody can see it because it's all you got articles that's just written about his credit card decline. It was funny. I ain't gonna lie, it was funny. But stuff like that ain't gonna happen to the elect in the kingdom. You know, we gonna have fame forever. It ain't gonna, Lord will we have that number. We ain't gonna ever get disgraced or disrespected again. But you rise up in Esau kingdom, one mistake and you get disrespected. So like the brother just said, it's time for the elect to receive a reward. You know, it's time out for the people who really don't deserve it. Starting with the other nations, Esau, Edom. That's why, going back to what I was going to originally say, the curses are now transferring over to Esau, Edom. Like we fell away from our power and everything that made us great, and what we had taken pride in had been taken away from us. Now it's the same thing with the Edomites, especially with these Epstein files coming out. A lot of people, especially those MAGA followers who was really pro-Trump, they now embarrassed, you know, and they're ashamed to even be Edomites because they see a lot of the Edomites, even though you had Israelites caught up in there too, a lot of the Edomites that they was for, they seeing some of the sick stuff they really were doing. The politicians, they seeing some of the sick things they really were doing, you know? Which I ain't read all into it, I ain't go all into it, but Esau, this is his kingdom, you know? These are the people that was in leadership over him, and they even more wicked than they are, you know? So everything is turning around. Now the Lord is exposing Esau for the devil that he really is to the whole world. So it's really time for the prophets to like the brother said, to receive a reward, and everybody else, the Lord finna handle it, you know. Verse 9, O Zion, that bringeth good tidings, get thee up into the high mountain, O Jerusalem, that bringeth good tidings.
Right.
Lift up thy voice with strength. Lift it up, and be not afraid. Say unto the cities of Judah, behold your God. Behold, the Lord God will come with strong hand, and his arm shall rule for him.
That's right.
Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. And that's going into Yahweh Shai. Like I said, his reward is with him. So going into the a part of their reward, which we read earlier in Sirach 19, we went into their immortality. A part of the reward is immortality. You know, and this is gonna be it's gonna be even more of an honor to receive immortality without dying in the beginning. You know, without having, I ain't gonna even say without dying, without being judged by Yahweh Shai in a negative way. Because we know it's gonna be martyrs for Yahweh Shai's sake. So, you know, they gonna die. But it's even more honorable to die for Yahweh Shai instead of dying for your wickedness, you know, or your sins. So, a part of that reward is his immortality. But like the brother had mentioned too, you know, the elect, they're going to receive resources. We're going to see power over the nations, being able to judge. We're going to have access to things that no human has ever even known about, you know, and require things that no other human has ever acquired. On top of that, we're going to have as many wives as you ever wanted. You know, all of them going to be righteous, all of them going to be virtuous, and all of them going to be virgins until you deal with them. It says, he shall feed his flock like a shepherd, and he shall gather the lambs with his arm, and carry them in his bosom, and shall gently lead those that are with young.
Right.
You know, going into the women too, you know, because women are going to have access to those rewards as well. Immortality, you're going to have access to resources through your man, you know, or through your husband rather. You're going to have access to things that the women of the other nations never had access to through your husband. Hell, even your husband, it's going to be a reward. A man of the Lord, you know, that's your own version of Yahweh Shai. with his own personality. You know, that's even a reward to women. And then not to mention children. It says, who have measured the waters in the hollow of his hand and meted out heaven with the span, and comprehended the dust of the earth in a measure, and weighed the mountains in scales and the hills in a balance.
Right, you know how Jake be talking about how far the sun is and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We the ride of Yahweh Shai's heritage, right? So we understood all this knowledge at one time. You know, like Wisdom of Solomon said, you know what I'm saying? He learned the operation of the elements. Get that real quick, like what Wisdom of Solomon said. We get it but you got it,
Who have directed the spirit of the Lord, or
Cause go read that verse again before that.
who have measured the waters in the hollow of his hand,
Right.
and meted out heaven with the span, and comprehended the dust of the earth in a measure,
Right.
and weighed the mountains in scales and the hills in a balance.
Cause even how Esau used his different ways of measuring stuff and doing stuff, all that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding came from us. Esau used all of his science and stuff he got. But even when he wanted to put his different stuff into space and show you that in the what's the movie, Hidden Figures? You know what I'm saying? With the Hidden Figures movie with the so-called black women doing the calculation on how, you know what I'm saying? Because they was going getting rockets up, which it never goes into outer space. You know what I'm saying? But when they were getting the rockets up into the firmament and stuff, all that knowledge came from our people. That's our people. We was the mathematicians. You know what I'm saying? We knew exactly how the whole earth operated. That's how we was able to build the pyramids. We built everything. You know what I'm saying? That's our knowledge that Esau. This our knowledge that Esau ruling and running the world off of. He just doing it in wickedness. You know, but all that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding came from the Israelites. You got that?
You want to, verse 17,
What it say?
give me certain knowledge.
Huh?
You want to give me certain knowledge?
Yeah, or the elements and the virtues of roots.
Yeah, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. I'm going to start at verse 16. For in his hand are both we and our words, all wisdom also, and knowledge of workmanship.
See? Right.
For he hath given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely, to know how the world was made,
See, to know how the world was made,
and the operation of the elements.
the operation of the now Esau act like he the master of all this. But it's our knowledge. Even to this day, it's our people still be telling them stuff, you know what I'm saying? And our people is the top scientists, you know what I'm saying, and all this, you know, letting him know how this stuff goes. You know? Go ahead. They're not gonna show that. You got it, bro.
The beginning, ending, and midst of the time, the alterations of the turning of the sun.
Start it from the top again.
Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 16. For in his hand are both we and our words, all wisdom also, and knowledge of workmanship. For he hath given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely, to know how the world was made, and the operation of the elements.
Right. See, they know how the world was made, in the operation of the elements. And we gonna receive all this back in totality, you know, when we get with, but we knew all this from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? We lost all this knowledge, you know. Go ahead.
The beginning, ending, and midst of the times,
The beginning, ending, in the midst of the times.
the alterations of the turning of the sun,
See, the alterations of the turning of the sun. See, all of that. You know how Esau be trying to tell you how far the sun is away, how they get, how long it take for it to hit Earth. All that's our knowledge, you know. Go ahead.
and the change of seasons,
Right.
the circuits of years, and the positions of stars,
All of that. The circles of years. We knew when to grow crops, when to plant seeds, which a lot of our folk we know that still now. A lot of our people still know that, but we knew that as the whole nation. You know what I'm saying? We knew that because we was a nation. You know what I'm saying? You know, we knew that. Go ahead, bro.
the natures of living creatures,
Right. See the natures of the living creatures.
and the furies of wild beasts, the violence of winds and the reasonings of men, the diversities of plants and the virtues of roots.
All of it.
And all
We been getting that back though, you know what I'm saying? You know, we know important, we prophesy important now, but Esau stripped all of this from us. Go ahead.
and all such things as are either secret or manifest, them I know.
See, but Solomon had that, you know what I'm saying? What he asked the Lord for, that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Man. Go ahead.
For wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me, for in her is an understanding, spirit holy, one only, manifold, subtle, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt,
Right.
loving the thing that is good, quick, which cannot be letted, ready to do good.
Come.
Kind,
So everything is going into, that's why the Lord said the kingdom of heaven within us. So this is what this is like. This is like what leads to the kingdom right here. You know what I'm saying? Getting back into all this, understanding all this. You know what I'm saying? Tapping back into this right here. You know, cause everything he going into is the creation of Yahweh Shema Shai. So it's life. And everything is going into is the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. It's like the spirit is in us. You know, go ahead.
kind to man, steadfast, sure, free from care, having all power,
Free from care, having all power,
overseeing all things,
overseeing all things, not some things, overseeing all things.
and going through all understanding, pure and most subtle spirits. For wisdom is more moving than any motion.
Right,
She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness.
right,
For she is the breath of the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty.
right.
Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. For she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua,
Good.
and the image of his goodness.
Right, the image of his goodness. Go ahead.
And being but one, she can do all things and remain in herself. She maketh all things new, and in all ages entering into holy souls. She maketh them friends of Yahweh Shem Yahushua and prophets.
Making them friends of Yahweh Shema Shai and prophets. Go ahead.
For Yahweh Shem Yahushua loving none but him that dwell with wisdom.
So that's all who the Lord loves right now. It's him that dwelleth with wisdom. Go ahead.
For she is more beautiful than the sun, and above all the order of stars, being compared with the light she is found before it.
See, she is found before all of that. Go ahead.
For after this cometh night, but vice shall not prevail against wisdom.
Right, see, so I see, and we seeing that now. All this wickedness and evil plots, Esau and schemes, Esau Edom has been and the other nations have came up with over the years. It ain't prevailing against wisdom, cause it's all failing there. You know what I'm saying? Everything is all failing there. The only thing that's undefeated is the wisdom of Yahweh Shema Shai. You know what I'm saying? That knowledge of righteousness, not the knowledge of wickedness. You know what I'm saying? That's it out.
Give it a chapter.
Go ahead, man.
Back in Isaiah 40 and 13. Who have directed the Spirit of the Lord, or being his counselor have taught him?
Right.
With whom took he counsel, and who instructed him, and taught him in the path of judgment, and taught him knowledge, and showed to him the way of understanding.
Nobody instructed our Heavenly Father. He instructed us, you know what I'm saying? So he the only one we listen to. You know, go ahead.
Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance.
This how he look at all the other nations. That ain't, you know, everybody who not, everyone who's not considered his chosen people, they nothing to him. Go ahead.
Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor to be sufficient for a burnt offering. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing in vanity.
Right.
To whom then will ye liken the Most High?
See, so whom you gonna like our Father to? You know what I'm saying? Our Heavenly Father. Nobody. Go ahead.
Or what likeness will ye compare unto him?
Right.
Or The workman melted a graven image, and the goldsmith spread it over with gold and cast a silver chains.
So this is what the other nations did. They created their own God. They wanted to have a power like ours, so they you know what I'm saying? They just try to, go ahead.
He that is so impoverished that he have no oblation chooseth a tree that will not rot. He seeketh unto him a cunning workman to prepare a graven image that shall not be moved. Have ye not known? Have ye not heard? Have it not been told you from the beginning? Have you not understood from the foundations of the earth? It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth.
Right. Go ahead. He sitting upon the circle of the earth. Cause see, I was watching this video the other day, right? And it was really showing how all the other nations, all the gods that they worship, is a black god. He's a so-called black god. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like Buddha. You know what I'm saying? All these were so-called dark-skinned figures. Except Esau Edom. He the only one came with the with this right here. You know what I'm saying? Because he can't learn righteousness. You feel me?
Right.
He can't learn righteousness. It makes sense, man. Because in the kingdom, all the other nations, they gonna bow down begging us to teach them the way. They not gonna be us. They not gonna receive immortality. But they gonna be all right, because we gonna rule the earth in righteousness. You know what I'm saying? We gonna, y'all go do y'all thing. You know what I'm saying? All that worshiping other guys gonna be over with though. They gonna worship us. You know? And they already know that anyway. Esau Edom, the only one can't do that. The so-called white man is the only one that can't do that. That's why he gonna have to be annihilated. He put this up right here. You know what I'm saying?
Can't get that.
How they went into the Hindu god, black, so-called black man, Buddha. That's why Buddha look like he got the twist. You know what I'm saying? His head. You got it, bro.
It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth,
Right.
and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in, that bringeth the princes to nothing. He maketh the judges of the earth as vanity.
Right.
Yeah, they shall not be planted. Yeah, they shall not be sown. Yeah, their stock shall not take root in the earth. And he shall also blow upon them, and they shall wither, and the whirlwind shall take them away as stubble. So whom then will ye liken me, or shall I be equal, saith the Lord?
Right,
So, the Holy One.
This fake word, man. Esau Edom. He go ahead, Go ahead.
Lift up your eyes on high, and behold, who have created these things, that bringeth out their hosts by number. He calleth them all by names, by the greatness of his might, for that he is strong in power, not one faileth.
Just like the Lord said, the variance of our hairs are numbered. You know what I'm saying? So you part of the elect, he called you by name. You know what I'm saying? But each one of the Israelites, he calling us by name. That's it. We are innumerable multitude. We the sons and daughters of Yahweh Shai. You got it, bro.
Why sayest thou, O Jacob, and speakest, O Israel?
Right.
My way is hid from the Lord, and my judgment is passed over from my God. Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard that the everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary? There is no searching of his understanding. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength.
That's right. Come.
Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall.
Right.
But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles.
And right, go ahead.
They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint.
Right. So it's all about just having that patience and waiting on the Lord, man, But like the scripture the brother read in Matthew 11, come and rest with him. His burden is light. Stop making the burden heavy. Stop striving for this incorruptible crown, that they got us striving for, Finish that in Baruch. We're going to read that Baruch 4. Just pick up where you left off. Because like the beginning of that scripture say, our warfare is accomplished. And we gotta really take that in, Lord he gonna come back right on time though, man. Cause Esau Edom, we ain't seen nothing yet, man. This man gonna really turn up out here. He really gonna turn up. We gotta turn up now before he turn up. He'll be ready for it. In the spirit though. You know what I'm saying? And knowing who we are, knowing the power that we got that's within us. You know, go ahead, bro.
All right, this is Baruch 4. I'll read 28 again. For it was your mind to go astray from Yahweh Shem Shai. So, being returned, seek him 10 times more.
Right.
For he have brought these plagues upon you.
He that brought these plagues upon you.
For he that brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy with your salvation.
Everlasting joy, you know. It's all right. Go ahead.
Take a good heart, O Jerusalem.
Right.
For he that gave thee that name will comfort thee.
Right. Come on.
Miserable are they that afflict thee,
See, miserable are they that afflicted us. Go ahead.
and rejoice at thy fall.
These people miserable now, and they want us to be miserable with them, but we've been miserable the whole time. That's why ain't none of this stuff really, we ain't paying attention to none of this stuff really, our people as a whole. You know, go ahead. Which the elect are, it's our job to measure the times diligently within itself. So we'll know how to move. We got to be as pure. We're gonna have to move, you know. We're gonna have to, we're gonna have to move around when things really get rough. You know, you got it, bro.
Miserable are the cities which thy children serve.
Right.
Miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruins, and was glad of thy fall,
Come.
so shall she be grieved for her own desolation.
Right. Go ahead.
For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning.
Right.
For the fire shall come upon her from the
And you see the
everlasting.
pride of America turned into mourning right now. You know, hey, you go ahead. You had Valentine's Day, was it that crunk? Was everybody happy? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like all these holidays ain't even nothing no more. You know, the pride of this place is turned into mourning. You got it?
For the fire shall come upon her from the everlasting long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time.
Good.
O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from Yahweh Shem Shai.
Good.
Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sendest away. Thou come gathered together from the east to the west by the words of the Holy One, rejoicing in glory of Yahweh Shem Shai.
Good. Read that last verse again, bro.
It says, Lo, thy sons come from thou sendest thee, lo, thy sons come, whom thou sendest away.
Right.
They come gathered together from the east to the west by the words of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of Yahweh Shem Shai.
Right. You know, and that's that deliverance, man. Like this word gathering us, you know, it's sealing us up. Then the physical manifestation of us being gathered when Yahweh Shai, the armies of heaven, actually come deliver us. So, really, we ain't got nothing to worry about, you know. All right. We just gotta walk by faith and not by sight. You know? We gotta constantly do it, you know. Hey, this whole physical world is just a distraction to us, is to try to get us out, you know what I'm saying? To get us caught up in it and thinking about it, you know what I'm saying? That's all it is, you know. But we have to conquer, you know what I'm saying? We more than conquerors, and we have to walk like that, you know. You know, you gotta just get in that spirit of everything got to bow down to you because you got the spirit of Yahweh Shai, and it's bowing down to him. It's the spirit that's within you. It's that spirit that he got on you. That's how we gotta move. That's how we gotta walk. You know what I'm saying? That spirit on us, that energy on us, it's wiping down any energy that ain't right, you know. You got it, huh?
I know we gonna close out. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Kakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. We hope this lesson was edifying. Until next time, we say Kwam Yasha'Allah.
Kwam Yasha'Allah.
Baba Baba.
Baba Baba.
Shalom.
Shalom.